Good morning. I am back here in the studio this morning. I am in between projects, so I'm not documenting in Paint. I'm not writing any blogs at this time, so I'm finding this a convenient way to continue documenting what my observations in this design. A design I picked up off some rocks around here in the yard, and it's very extensive and found all over the world, so I'm calling it Lithicliterature. So here we are with Lithicliterature. Yesterday we talked about this painting, but I want you to notice something very different this time. Yesterday, first of all, as we have explained, this is a diptych. It's 2 pieces. So yesterday I had it set up with this piece on the left and this piece on the right. So I'm just going to move them to that position so you can see. We spoke about this yesterday. Now, if you see, this is just a stretchers with canvas on both sides, so they're very light and easy to work with. So me to move them around like this, it takes no effort. Later on, they'll be propped on bamboo to make little stands that also protects the canvas. So this is where we were yesterday. I hope you can see this well enough. Let me see if I can pop this out in the back. There we go. So yesterday we had this set up here where this is a piece, part of the design that I sort of focused in on just to give people a reference. But there's faces all through this. And faces with, different leg positions. So all in one painting, you have multiple activities, actions, If you notice, the lines seem to work from one panel to the other without problems. It's like, how the way this ends up here, everything seems to, if you got a butterfly, if you have a butterfly along this line, it has to, it has its symmetry. So the design seems to be aware that I can also take this and put it over, not take the piece that was, reset this up how we had it when we first started this morning. I want you to just be fascinated here. Yes, yesterday we talked about football players and anatomy and everything else and how well everything fit together. Now look at this baby. Look at how beautiful she is. Like, that body position that Michelangelo used. I think it's Sistine Chapel, where you have this muscular man turning away from you with his muscles flexed up towards God or creation, or I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting any actions, but this, in this case, just as much as I see that, I also see like a Scythian lady, warrior, princess with her painted body, but the painted body reminds me of the Druids or the Northern European clan of painted bodies. But her body is beautifully painted, and it expands to being like the Venuses. They all have different qualities of voluptuousness. But here she is a muscular, very muscular, and she's pulling up the bow and sending arrows in this action. So these are the actions that I want you to. There's actions: throwing the football, throwing a baseball, pulling back on the bow and arrow. There's of course going to be many others when you focus on the birds and what the birds might be doing. Each animal here will have its function, whether it's a deer coming down and nuzzling the baby, or the giraffe. It's just endless. And I just want you to know that if you ever purchase one of these paintings, you will have many years of fun. Enjoy. I needed to do a little more this morning because I really this is important to me. that, as you see the elephant doing the elephant things through here, and obviously this lovely lady will find an elephant to ride as well. But something I've noticed just again and again, not only here, but in almost anywhere where you see the elephant and the human. I'm not saying they were doing this all the time, but there was a time when the pattern was just like we dock our pets' tails and ears for, whatever invented reason you want to come up with. The humans during the Ice Age or before the Ice Age had a habit of cutting off the elephant's trunk to just control them. They would probably need assistance being fed, so they probably kept enough of the trunk and the tusks to still carry some weight, like logs and things, but cut them off enough so they are not so cumbersome or interfere with human-animal interactions. Think about that. This is real. You're going to see pictures of elephants throughout this design going like, what is wrong with them? And says, hey, no, they docked their trunks. Aren't we good? And they also docked the tails of the dolphin. I am a swimmer. I myself carry out long swims with a strapped-on monofin and I swim very fast. Humans were doing this way, 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 way before we had any idea that they were. So mermaids are just docked dolphin tails. I'm sure they used other different types of tails, but you can see the dolphin not being very keen on it, I suspect, but they were docking the tails and making, prosthetic tails for humans to swim. And we'd be very, very good at it. I am too. Enjoy. Thank you.